when you create the space and you're not rushing to fill that space with something, because the mind goes, oh, good, you've created all this space. Now, what are we going to do? Right?
Right.
When you just go, no, 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 I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to
Mm.
do nothing. And I feel like you probably know about this too, of
Mm-hmm.
like, do nothing. I actually, when I did ketamine therapy the first time, is when I realized how overstimulated we all are.
Mm-hmm.
Like a crazy amount of overstimulation. Even just cooking while the TV's on.
Yep.
Like, why do you always have to have something on? Turn it
Mm-hmm.
off.
Yeah.
That's when like the epiphanies, that's when the
Well,
magic
the
happens, the
downloads.
downloads.
Hello, hello, Brave Table fam. Welcome to another episode of The Brave Table. I'm your host, Dr. Neeta, and this is your destination, your oasis to be all things just a little bit more brave in your actions, in your relationships, and in your life. And ooh, we've got something a little bit magical for you today. My guest today, Frank Elaridi, has lived what it feels like multiple lifetimes. Think about it this way. All of us are multi-hyphenates in our own being. And he's only just getting started. Get this. He's a four-time Emmy award-winning journalist who's covered literally everything from refugee camps in the Middle East to the Academy Awards. Now, what fascinates me most is what has happened after. Frank walked away from the newsroom and he literally stepped fully into his calling as an energy healer, spiritual teacher, and guide. And from creating spiritual content on YouTube, literally that has gone mega, mega viral, to co-authoring an oracle deck, building conferences, and now launching his brand new course, Awaken the Healer Within. It's almost like he is supporting all of us to find the healer in ourselves. And Frank has been at the forefront of helping people clear emotional blocks and step into their own healing gifts. Because, as we talk about week after week, we all have our own gifts. We just have to activate them. And so Frank is here today to talk about all of it. Now, here's the twist. Frank was raised in the mystical Druze tradition, one of the most secretive and ancient spiritual lineages, with teachings passed down for over 1,000 years. So today we are literally diving into reinvention, what it looks like, what energy healing actually is, how can it benefit you, and the brave act of living a fully soul-led life. So grab your chai or whatever you're sipping, and let's welcome Frank Elaridi to the Brave Table this week.
Oh, hey.
Oh my gosh.
When you said grab your chai, I was like, man, I'm craving chai.
I do have some for you,
Do you
actually.
really?
I do, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. When I was
Mhm.
downstairs, like walking up here, I saw the like lobby and I was like, should I go in there and see if they have any chai? And I was like, oh, wait till after, Frank.
Okay, yeah. So tell us about this, because you've gone a full 180, it
Yeah.
seems like, and you started out in this like high, fast pace, full profile in journalism. And how is that? How is that Frank? And who was that Frank then, as opposed to who Frank is today?
I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday on the phone where I thought, like, I said, I saw a photo of myself from that time. And they say like every 7 years, all the cells in your body are different. So literally that person is dead,
Wow.
like actually dead, because
Wow.
it's like we have the memory of that person. And so
Mm.
we're dying all the time. I have the memories of like being at the Academy Awards or covering volcano eruptions or whatever else. I have those memories. They're there.
And you had shorter hair then.
At
I
short
so
hair. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
It's funny. Somebody joined my course, Awaken the Healer Within, and he was like, I've been following you since you had short hair. Yeah, it's like, it's funny. As I left news, I started to like, I guess it was not planned, but just naturally, I'm just like coming more into myself of like the long hair. I'll
Aw.
probably have a long beard one day,
Hey, you know
fully white,
what? Fully.
But yeah, it's, that time was incredible. It was so incredible. And, you mentioned like the viral videos that I had all about spirituality. It's because I learned from ABC News how to tell a story. It's like
Mm.
there were we would tape people's eyes shut, blindfold them, and then put them on an obstacle course, or I'd play a game of bowling or pool with them. I would hold papers up. I'd be like, what does this say? And they'd say the brave table, and their eyes are taped shut
No way.
and fully blindfolded. And there were other people making videos about that. When I found it through a video, but it probably had like 20 views,
Wow.
and then I was like, I'm gonna tell this story because I was really interested, and I went and I learned it myself, and I got 10 million views.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like thank God that I had this like journalism background and this experience but now how can I channel it into what I was actually already doing anyway in my own life, right? Because like I'd be covering refugee camps and whatever else. I'd be at every natural disaster, every school shooting, every celebrity interview. Like I was at everything,
Wow.
at the forefront, every president. I mean, I've interviewed everybody. And in my personal life, I was working with shamans. I was going to the curanderas in Mexico. I was like, I wanted to absorb spirituality in every way that I could. So that led to me being able to now share this work,
Mhm.
you know?
And talk to us a little bit about your lineage. What's the Druze tradition? And we were just talking about before the camera started rolling. I'm like, okay, so are you Persian? And
Right,
you're
right,
like, no,
right.
no, no, I'm actually Lebanese. So, yeah. Okay, so tell us all about the spiritual lineage that you're coming
Yeah,
from.
so it's called Druze, and they're mostly found today in Lebanon, Israel, and Jordan, and I think a little bit in Syria as well.
Mhm.
Originally were very nomadic, always were in the mountains, kept to themselves. They still do really keep to themselves. So, like the Druze people are very secretive. Even I know very little. I've
Mhm.
like scratched the surface of what is to be known, because in order to really get like the core of it, you have to become initiated. It becomes your life. You start dressing like a sheik, you know.
Mhm.
You go every like almost every night, and like their chants are so beautiful. They're just chanting and chanting and chanting, and
Oh
you can hear
wow.
it. It's really an amazing thing. My grandmother was initiated. All my grandparents actually were. My parents were not and have not been. They live like a modern, life. It's like you can't do both. You
Oh, so
choose.
you have to be like an ascetic.
Basically, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
you can still live among the people, like you still, go to their house for dinner, you still whatever, but they're really living this is like their whole life. This is all they do.
oh
Which is
wow.
actually how I live anyway, but not like in one like traditional like Druze path.
Mhm.
But I grew up not like, people say, do you believe in reincarnation? And it's not even a matter of belief. Like there was no other, and it's not like the way Hindus like will learn about reincarnation.
Yeah.
It's very specific. Like I'll say like, Mom, how come, so and so is not coming to the beach with us? Oh, he drowned in his last life. He came from this town. His mom was so and so. She's still alive. Like they'll tell you like they actually know the
Oh,
story,
wow.
And
So
so it was a
even they
very
know about their
oh
last
yeah,
lives.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not all of them, not
Okay.
everybody, but they know significant things. They know some things. Like for example, if you come in, Neeta, as a child,
Mhm.
and you're like 6 years old, and you tell your mom like, "You're not my mom. My mom's name is Sada," they will actually look, because they say like the Druze are only born over and over as Druze from the moment we
Oh,
got initiated,
yeah.
in the very first time in like around ancient Egypt times,
Mhm.
and they said after that, yeah, you're just Druze every time, and
Interesting.
so
So
they'll
do they have a higher level of like intuition?
I mean, I think just like any culture, it depends. Like, are you going into it? Are you embracing it? Or are you like, there's so many modern Druze too, like
Right.
who are just like, living the
Right.
life, like,
Right.
making money, doing business, like whatever else. But if you choose that path, yeah, I mean, it's like when my grandmother died, for example, she was on her deathbed, and my mom, all her whole family was here in the U.S.
Mhm.
and also another family, and so she was at her daughter's house, my aunt, and she was like, "Oh, about my mom, she's here right now, and she's in the other room, but leave her. She just traveled all the way from the U.S. to see me, so just let her relax." And my mom was not there,
Oh, wow.
and my other cousin Lodi, her name is Lodi, she lives in the UK. She was like, "Lodi's here. She came to see me. Wow, I'm so excited that she's here to see me. But let her study. Let her. Don't tell her to come in. Let her study. Like she has college and studying." And so she created in her last moments like what she wanted, how she wanted that to be, and
Mm.
and just passed so slowly and quietly and smiling and happy. So it's
Wow.
almost like she had the grace, I guess, of the divine being like, it's gonna
Mhm.
be peaceful for you. Like this is how, just see it this way. So there is like a lot of really beautiful things. I've heard of ancestors, like my mom would tell me about her aunt, I think it was her aunt or her great aunt, who just was like early 20s and was like, I'm done. Like this
Mhm.
is it for me. So she went up to her room and just meditated, wouldn't eat, nothing. And
Mhm.
was literally, they found her not alive, like she had passed, sitting up in meditation.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so, and people, they were worried about her, like, no, come down, like be involved in the world, but
Yeah.
she was just like, I'm done. And so there's like a lot of things like that I grew up with. I mean, my dreams would always come true. No one ever said that's crazy. Like my mom would be like, "What did you dream about last night?" My dad would ask me, and I told him, I said, I had a dream that his dad died the night before his dad died. I had a dream that my next door neighbor was pregnant. I went and told her. I'm like 10 years old,
So you would have all of these
all of these
premonitions.
dreams. Yeah. Yeah.
So when at this point, like, I'm so curious as to you're harnessing your gifts. You're also, having kind of this incredible life as a journalist. You're winning all of these awards. At what point did you have to let go your identity,
Yeah, it's
your
such an important question.
relationships, maybe even your own sense of success to really own the inner calling?
Yeah. And I'm still doing that now, to be honest. Like, I'll talk about the success part too, but yeah, I had to, because I would probably for the last 3 years before I left, every year I'd be like, this is my last year. Like, I'm leaving this year. But there was never anything that I was leaving for or going into, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, in like a month period, I met these three different healers who all were teaching me about magnetic energy and how to use magnets to heal.
Oh, no way.
Three completely different lineages, too. And like one was a Mormon in Utah, one was an African shaman, and the other was a curandera in Mexico, right? Like completely different. And they're
But all using magnets?
all using magnets and all within 1 month.
Okay.
And all of them were like, you're a healer, right? Like you should be learning how to do this. And they were all insisting on teaching me. And I was so stubborn that I was like, no, 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 I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist. Like, I just did not want to accept that at all. And I think it was like I finally just started to learn and use the magnets on myself, on my friends, and I started to see like these miraculous results. And I was like, I have to do this. And so I
Mhm.
started to do it, but it was like one foot in two worlds. I was like, okay, I'm still going to be a journalist, but I'm also going to do these healings.
Right.
And that only works for so long. Like
Mhm.
after like 6 months, I was like burned out. I couldn't do it anymore. And just being so fulfilled in this part of life
Mhm.
that just started, it was like an easy thing to walk away from at that
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
And that's like something to say to anybody listening in and now too, or even you, or things that I'm even going through now in life, like not going through, but when you mentioned success, like even now, I'm like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Do I want to write a book? And why do I want to write that book? Is it for because I have information to share, or because I still am clinging on to like being something in the
Mhm.
like I have to do something in media? I don't
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
Um,
Like,
but
what's the actual intention?
exactly. And so I ask myself that every time before I start anything new, like Awaken
Mhm.
the Healer Within or this book
Yeah.
that I am writing now. And actually what I've realized is like when you create the space and you're not rushing to fill that space with something, because the mind goes, oh, good, you've created all this space. Now what are we gonna do? Right?
Right.
When you just go, no, 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 I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna
Mm.
do nothing. And I feel like you probably know about this too, of
Mhm.
like do nothing. I actually, when I did ketamine therapy the first time, is when I realized how overstimulated we all are.
Mhm.
Like a crazy amount of overstimulation. Even just cooking while the TV's on.
Yep.
Like, why do you always have to have something on? Turn it
Mhm.
off.
Yeah.
That's when like the epiphanies, that's when the
Well,
magic
the
happens, the
downloads
downloads of the
come
present moment, they
through.
come through.
Yeah, it's interesting. I has actually a year ago I did a TEDx talk, and I did it
Mhm.
in the homeland of where my mom was from in the Philippines. We
Wait,
went.
I did a TEDx talk in the Philippines in
No.
December.
Oh, you did it in December. I did it in November.
Whoa.
Did you do it? Was it in Makati?
No, it was in Manila in Forbes Park, I think it was called.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that
yeah.
one. Ours
Wow.
was in at the Soleil, which is yeah, it was I think it was a month. That's so
That's
crazy.
wild.
Oh. Well, I will link both of our TED Talks
Thank
in
you.
the show
So yours was
notes.
about overstimulation?
No, so mine was about, where are we all going? What are we all running to?
Mm.
We're sicker, lonelier than ever. And there's a part of the talk where I kind of alluded to some of the greats, like way back when, they would attribute to their success to just long walks,
Yeah.
and not having any stimulation and having this sort of boredom.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the first point that I wanted to make is that when you slow down, is there then room for you to have all of these other
Mm.
things that happen that potentially could contribute to whatever more success you would, like in the future.
Yeah.
Um,
And I actually have a perfect thing to piggyback off that too,
yeah.
because I wrote a book in 2020 that was like, so I have my Oracle deck that came out with like these incredible co-authors that I wrote it with. And I brought one for you. So I have that. But I actually wrote a fiction book during that time too. And it was before I was doing healings, but at that point it was still, friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought anything would happen with this book. I literally shelved it. I put it on the shelf and forgot about it. I probably told maybe like 10 people about it, friends, and that was it. And then when I would say about 2 months ago now, I'm in this space of I honestly didn't think I would come back. Like I didn't
Mhm.
think I could do this interview with you. I was in such a place of silence. I was like, how do I ever go back into the world now? Like I
Yeah.
can't. I
Wow.
would close my eyes and I have this thing where I'm non-visual. So I actually,
Okay.
even if I close my eyes and you say, Frank, think of a red apple, I can't do that.
Okay.
I only see black. I see like
Oh,
eyelid color. Like,
okay.
and I always thought, I only realized this about myself about 6 months ago. I thought that's what everybody had. So I didn't know that you could actually, like, when you're meditating and someone says you're on the beach and whatever else, that you're actually visualizing that.
So you don't.
I don't.
Oh,
I
wow.
just like I would imagine, like, what does it feel like to be on the beach? What does sand on my feet feel like? What does it sound like to hear ocean waves, right? But in that silence, I started every time I'd close my eyes, I'd start seeing kaleidoscopes and fractals. And
Mm.
I mean, it was like an ayahuasca journey. It was
Mhm.
even on ayahuasca, I've never seen visuals. So
Really?
imagine, and in my silence, I was seeing visuals. And so
Awesome.
in that space, I come out of it and I'm like, what do I do now? I remember saying, what do I do now with all this space? And Spirit said, do nothing. You do
Mm.
nothing. And that doesn't mean you just sit there, like, because people listening are like, yeah, easy for you to say, I have a job, blah, blah. It just means don't force anything.
Right.
Let life happen and know I am not the doer. The body, the mind, they're doing. I'm the observer of what is happening and what's being done. So just observe, let it happen and stop
Mm.
trying to force and create
Mhm.
and whatever else. So in that time, I get an email from one of the biggest book publishers, top three in the world. And they're like, hey, we heard about this book that you wrote a while back from mutual friends who have a production company. And they're like, are you interested in publishing it? And now I have a book deal with like one of the biggest book publishers in the world for a book that I thought would never see the light of day.
Yep.
Because everyone who approaches me to write a book is about like spiritual self-help, like what, and I wasn't ready to write that yet. So I had written this book and I thought nobody's going to want to read this. And now without an agent, without me pitching it, without anything,
Without a
there's a book deal
proposal.
and it comes out. It's like for pre-sale in December.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's the thing about like, let spirit guide you and lead you, and without your brain or mind trying to force an outcome,
Wow. And that's the beauty of just, yeah, the surrender.
surrender.
That's the surrender.
Yeah.
So, okay, you have studied many, many paths. And I want to kind of get into this because, I almost see you as this like ancient mystic that's coming back to life
Mhm.
here. That's kind of, ready to awaken us all
Mhm.
to really heal ourselves. And so you've studied, Hindu, Christian, Ayurvedic, Jyotish. How do you reconcile so many traditions? Because I feel like people who are watching this either on YouTube or listening to this Brave Table fam, I know you've had this question before of, recognizing their own dogmas that they grew up with
Mm.
and now embracing the different spiritual traditions and perhaps even recognizing, whatever fits
Yeah.
for their season and stage of life.
It's interesting too that you say this because like I would be like, no, I'm humble, I'm humble. So I would just be like, oh, thank you. But now I realize actually humility is to say like, yeah, I am here to do this. And it's actually Um, it's humble because it's like, look, the creator has given me this role and
Hmm.
I'm surrendering into it and I'm accepting it. To say I'm not is actually being arrogant because it's saying you know better than the creator what you are. So it's actually humble to say I am the light of the world.
Yeah.
I am like here to help people. I'm here to whatever it is that your thing is. It's
Mhm.
actually humble because you're accepting your function, you know?
Mm.
And so for me, like that is the only reason I'm here. I actually like we talked about this before filming. Like I just want to go live on a farm by myself and be left alone. And I'll die there and I'd be so happy. You know what I mean? Like I no longer have that ambition, that drive to like prove anything, to be anything. But
Mhm.
there is that drive constantly to just help people.
Yeah.
Like constant, I don't know what it is. Like I get such a sadness when I see anybody suffering, even if they don't realize that they're suffering. When I
Mhm.
even have a friend talk to me about something they're going through, and I'm just watching how the mind is creating that suffering.
Yeah.
Like the pain is real, fine. It's like I burned myself on the stove. Okay, that's fine. The body experienced pain.
Right.
I get to now choose if I will turn that into suffering.
Mhm.
Oh God, electric stoves. I should have gotten a gas stove. This sucks. This always happens to me. Now you're creating suffering. And that is a choice, right? And I love
Mhm.
that I'm actually talking to you and you mentioned all the different paths because, growing up Filipino and Hindu and Indian, you probably have like the Hindu background and the Christian background,
Catholic.
Catholic, right?
Mhm.
And there's so much with Catholicism of like the guilt and everything else. and I want to actually talk about guilt, but I had to, like, Christianity is really big for me as far as like teachings of forgiveness,
Hmm.
but I had to learn Hinduism in order to understand Christianity.
Really?
I don't think anybody can understand Christianity until you study Hinduism.
Okay, say more about that.
Say more so, like, even if you think of like the teachings of Jesus, there was like 15 years or whatever it was that he was missing.
Yeah.
And there's all of this evidence that he was in Tibet and India during those years. And
Mm.
there's documentaries about this. There's Tibetan texts that talk about Isa, the man Isa who came from the West, well, whatever the West would have been called at that point. And all of these things, I mean, there's like so much evidence now about that. If you
Wow.
look for it, it's there.
Right.
And so I really believe that he was like a yogi too, and he awakened, and it
Mm.
came back and was like, I'm going to teach this where I came from. And the thing is about, like, for me, the reason why I say Hinduism taught me about forgiveness is I think, when you think about Jesus and Christianity, there's so much about forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness.
Mhm.
Everything is an illusion. This is a dream. If this is a dream, though, like, ask yourself, Neeta, ask yourself, and anybody listening, ask yourself, if this is a dream, what am I? You are a dream. You don't exist. Neeta doesn't exist. Firas is my first name. Frank, I don't exist. I was never born, never will die. This entire thing is a projection of spirit witnessing, projecting, creator projecting a dream that it's watching. You are that dream. You are not the dreamer, you're the dream. And so I think because people always walk around, this is a simulation, this is a dream, but think about what that means. Actually think about that.
Yeah.
If this is a dream, do you believe that you're the real thing in this dream? You are the dream.
Mm.
And so forgiveness, therefore, is also a dream. It's not necessary. There's nothing to forgive because nothing ever happened. But it's the dream that leads to waking up because it's saying, like, I forgive you. You did all this, fine, whatever. I'm willing to see that that was all an illusion. It never happened. It happened in your distorted mind, my distorted mind. But in reality, in the truth of what we are, in eternity, nothing happened. Even God does not forgive because there's nothing, he's never condemned you in the first place. He, she, whatever. Like, the creator has never condemned you because in order to condemn you, it would have to make your dream real. But this dream is not real. And so, but it's a classroom for love, right? So it
Right.
can be, it's like, it's not real, but it's very useful.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is not to discard the dream and give up and walk away from it, but
Right.
use it as a classroom for love. Use every opportunity as an
Mhm.
opportunity to heal in order to see past the illusion and just see what miracles start to happen. And the
Mm.
miracles start to happen not even just for you, for the people that you're forgiving.
Right.
Like, I'm willing to forgive you. I will not acknowledge the shame that you see in yourself and the guilt that you
Mhm.
see in yourself and this and that.
Mhm.
It's not real. And you no longer, when that happens, so the ego's best defense, or the best tool that it has to make this linear time real,
Mhm.
past, present, future,
Yep.
is guilt and shame,
So true.
right? Because if you're guilty for something in the past, so it holds the past alive because you're always remembering that guilt that you have to keep real. Then there must be also a future to atone for that.
Mhm.
So you're going to keep coming back karmically,
Yep.
karmic cycles, life, rebirth, rebirth, to atone for this past.
Mhm.
But also, aside from just making linear time real, the craziest thing that it does is it also makes the creator separate from you, because
Mhm.
now there must be something, a father figure or a mother figure, whatever, to punish you for that guilt. So now you're projecting what was always never separate. It was always unity. There was always union. That's what
Yeah.
yoga is, a union, is now being projected outward. And so we're
Mhm.
creating separation between us and source, and we're making linear time real. And what's holding that alive is guilt and shame.
Both of those, which are the lowest vibing
Exactly.
frequencies of
Yes.
emotion.
Yeah.
Is it-
Shame leads to suicide a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you talk about, the work that actually works, now getting fully into helping others heal. And you've literally created a whole program that's now popping off the
Yeah.
charts, and people really want to awaken the healer within themselves.
Yeah.
So I want to bring it home for our listeners and those who are watching this on YouTube, because, it's not just about your story, it's what's possible for every single one that's actually watching. Now, for those of us who want to understand the why, like what's actually happening in the body, in the mind during an energy session, let's talk about that. And I don't know if you wanted to do,
Let's do one.
you want to do one?
Let's do one. I'm
Okay.
picking up as soon as we walked in, and this is when I was like, hey, we're doing a clearing, right? Grief. So a lot of
Mm,
loss.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I would like to do that clearing for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
So I don't know if that resonates, but there was like, there's loss. And so
Yeah.
we can do it. And then we can talk about, do you want to talk first how it works or after?
We you want to go ahead and
Let's
share?
just do it.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
you want to share just a little bit
Yeah,
about what
sure. A
we're
little
getting
bit.
into?
So basically like, and actually I think I'm going to pull out some of these other, I've made different little charts that I use with different
Oh,
people.
I
So I think
love
I'm going to end up using some
that.
of these. So we'll see.
Okay.
So a lot of clients that I work with will tell me about a book. I've actually never read it, but I can tell from the title. I'm like, yes, that's what it is. It's called The
Mhm.
Body Keeps the Score.
Oh, yes.
Okay, have you
Love
heard of it?
that
Okay,
book.
so I
Yes,
think it's
of course.
popular because a lot of clients have brought it up to me.
Mhm.
And it makes sense that, look, I'll have people who come in, sometimes they tell me I have an eating disorder, I want to work on it. Sometimes they don't. I had one client actually from Australia recently, and she's done a testimonial, so I think she's okay with me sharing this. It's on my
Mhm.
website, right?
Mhm.
And so she was starving herself for like 10, 15 years.
Oh, wow.
And she has a kid, and she said, after one of our sessions, she said we were playing, her and her son were playing in his room, and she said her voice said to her inner voice said, "Stop starving yourself. Go eat. You're starving. Go eat."
Oh,
And
wow.
she said she went to the kitchen and made porridge and just ate. And we had a follow-up, so we've had follow-up sessions. So I saw her like 2 days ago, and she was like, I said, "Hey, by the way, how is it?" And she's like, "Yeah, totally. Like, it has not come back." And that's like one of many things, right? I had a woman recently with, and these are coming up because they're recent, a woman with thyroid cancer. She's a pharmacist. We did six sessions and it's gone. Not only is it gone, I didn't know it was gone until in the session I said, you have an allergy to the idea of letting yourself get excited. And I said, and it's only from
Mm.
2 weeks ago. And I
Wow.
said, and I think it's medical related. And she
Mm.
said, Frank, all my tests came back negative. And she goes,
Mm.
and I won't get excited about it because I'm kind of afraid to get excited about it. She
Mm.
said, I believe in miracles, but I'm afraid to get excited. And she's like, even my husband's getting annoyed with me because he's like, you should be excited. Like you're negative. So when I say that, like these are things, her thyroid came up in almost every session as like it had an imbalance or a misalignment. The fact that it just either it needed to be cleared in layers, I don't know, or it just that it kept getting imbalanced, and that's
Yeah.
where her cancer was. And I'd come back and be like, okay, we need to clear it again, clear it again. And this is why, like, sometimes people do one session with me and I never
Yeah.
see them again. And like, my back pain's gone great. Other times, and most times, what I prefer is like someone does like 6 sessions
Okay.
because it's like night and day who you were before and
Oh,
after.
of
It's
course.
wild.
And there's a progression. I think, in the
Layers.
beginning, you're kind of only showing, perhaps maybe a little bit, or
Yeah.
you're only unraveling a little bit.
Hmm.
For some, it might be just what they needed.
Yeah.
But I feel like for most, you have to have kind of that, just the rapport with that
It's
person.
true. It opens up more. I mean, they don't
Yeah.
say
And
anything,
then
by
you
the
can
way.
go deeper too.
Yeah. And to be like totally clear about for people listening too, it's not like therapy. They don't say anything. So
Interesting.
it's just energetically, but even
So they don't
energetically,
say
you're
anything.
nothing.
So you just pick up
I
on
just
it.
start talking, but I get an intention. So I say,
Okay.
give me your intention. What do you want to work on?
Okay.
And they'll say, oh, I have thyroid cancer. Or they'll say,
Okay.
like one person said, business. He was like an entrepreneur from Canada, 33 years old. He's like, I just want more clients, more money, more what. And it was so funny because in the first session I said, we can't even work on that because your esophagus is so messed up. I need to clear your esophagus. And he
Interesting.
said, oh, I throw up every day. I've been doing it for 10 years. And I was like, what? And it's not an eating disorder. He would feel anxiety and he would release that anxiety. That's how he would. And then he's like, and then I feel great. He
So
didn't even want
he
to work on it.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, well, no, we need to start there. Like that's a huge imbalance. And when you clear this,
Mm.
suddenly your business will get better. Other things will get better anyway. So why don't we
Yeah.
just start there? He ended up
Okay.
doing like 12 more sessions after that. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh. Okay, now I'm excited. Right,
Yeah, yeah. So don't tell me anything. That's why when I walked in, I was like, I'm picking up grief. That I want to
Mm.
work on. It wants to be cleared.
Okay.
But I don't know. I won't force it. Let's see what comes up.
Okay.
And especially because like my sessions are an hour long, we're gonna do like a 5-minute demo to
Yeah,
show people,
we're
you know what I
gonna do
mean?
5 minutes.
Just to
Okay.
show people like what it
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
and to get an idea of how energy works.
Okay.
So I might even say like I might not even just go straight to the grief. I might say you have an imbalance in your kidney, which is
Mm.
caused by the imbalance in your thyroid, which is caused by grief.
Okay.
And then I'll clear the grief. But it's important to know that because some people might be carrying something in their thyroid, let's say, because that's now been the example, for 20, 30, 40, 50 years before it becomes cancer.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
not like it just was. Sometimes, yeah, fine, there are
Right.
environmental things too. But like this woman, for example, with thyroid, there was so much that I went to in her teenage years. And all the things were like, oh yeah, that's when our family like lost their money. That's when I went to college. That's when I went to college and my parents, needed help or whatever it
Yeah.
was. Like,
Yeah.
and now she's in her 60s or 50s or 40s, whatever the person. but it's like you've been holding that for 30 years,
Yeah.
you know? And someone like you who I feel like has done some work,
Mhm.
whether it's breath work, anything else, like a lot of that will have cleared.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always coming to an energy healer. You can clear
Mhm.
things. Things can move and get cleared through plant medicine, through whatever else,
Of course.
right? But this is just like, this is plant medicine without throwing up.
Right. Without the purge.
Without the
And you don't
purge.
need to go to a K-hole or a
Exactly.
K-galaxy for this.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So let's see what comes up for you then.
Okay.
Are you comfortable sharing your age?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your age?
28. No, I'm just kidding. 43.
43. Okay.
Yeah.
Look 28 for sure. And that's the
Thank
cool thing about all my
you.
clients. I think the people that are interested also in this work usually look, you know, in their 20s. You
Mm.
can always cut that part out, obviously, but it's the reason I ask is
No,
because
I
I
think
do
it's
give an age
important.
for everything of like you experience this at that age.
Okay.
Yeah, I get very laser focused, you know?
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just set an intention here. If you want, you can also just do the same. Set the intention, and I'm here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent Spirit who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because Spirit directs me. I am content to be wherever you wish, knowing that you go there with me. I will be healed as I let you teach me to heal Neeta. Okay, I'm looking for the highest good for this time right now to clear for Neeta. Can we clear? Okay, it's the first thing. It's dramatic, defensive, mental, attitude. Yeah, so the first thing is going to be an emotion, the emotions. Okay, conflict. 25, 24, 22. Do we need to know more? Can I clear this? So there is conflict, and it might be an inner conflict, but it's from age 22, and there was a conflict. So you were conflicted at 22. If anything ever comes to mind, you can share, but just know that I'll let you know if we have to know more. Sometimes Spirit will say, like, you need to acknowledge what this was before we clear it.
Okay.
Did we clear this? Okay, good. Is there more here? Okay, this will be energetic. Instrument. Will to. Will to. Broadcast message, okay? There's something else, and this is something called the broadcast. And this is something that I learned from that the Mormon teacher that I told you about, from the 3 that taught me. And a broadcast is basically like you're a walking radio tower. We all are, and we're putting out messages subliminally, positive and negative ones. This one is negative, so I'm going to see what it is. Okay, good. 15. Do we need to know more? Can we clear this? This is from age 19, and there was the broadcast, I don't forgive. Age 19.
I mean, that was when my dad passed away.
Ooh, at 19? Oh, so that was probably the grief I was picking up too.
Yes. And then
Did we clear this? Do you know why you felt I don't forgive? You don't have to say it either.
I
It's
mean,
clear.
I've spoken about this at length. But yes, a year before that or 2 years before that, my brother died, and then a year before that, my mom had died.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Oh, before? Wow. Oh, wow. So by the time you were 19, all 3 had passed. And then so there's this broadcast, I don't forgive, because that one is probably the 3rd one at that point. Yeah. Wow. Oh, I may. Before the age of 20, before the age of 15, 16, 17, 18. Do we need to know more? Can we clear this? Okay. So that's why it keeps taking me to this time period, right? This is 18. And at 18, there's feeling unsupported. And as we say this, we're clearing it too. These are clear too. Okay. Should I do this first? Okay, it's energetic. Your system. There's a misalignment somewhere in your body. System misalignment. One of your chakras. It's the crown chakra, throat chakra, your heart chakra. So I don't just say heart chakra. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget it. Heart chakra. I won't, anybody can just say your heart chakra is misaligned, Okay, fine. I find all the underlying reasons why. So let's find out why. So let's see a mouse. Energetic. Okay. Is it a hypnotic suggestion? It's according to age of 20, 15. Do we need to? Or is this with mom? Is it with dad? Mom, can I clear this? There's an energetic cording. I don't know who it is. It's one of your parents, and it's from age 19. So it could be your dad, because usually we create cords. I always tell people in the beginning and ends of relationships. And when we're trying to hold on,
Yeah.
So we create a cord. So that cord is still there, and it's imbalancing your heart chakra. Did we clear this cord? And when we clear the cord, we're not clearing the love. We're not clearing any of the memories or anything. We're just clearing this negative attachment that's holding on.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still a heart chakra misalignment? Okay, it's energetic. That's it. Come on. That's it. There's another message that's being broadcasted out, and this is also affecting your heart chakra. And we'll see what this message is. It's in. I need to be rescued. Same, yeah, same time. 17. Do we need to know more? Can we clear this? That was at age 17. I need to be rescued. So that tells me maybe some stuff was already happening at 17.
Probably holding on to young relationships because, you know, for fear of abandonment. Yeah.
We clear this. Yeah, we clear that. Is there still a heart chakra misalignment? Okay, it's energetic. Emotion. There's another emotion there. Before the age of 25. Okay, this is more recent, before 30. Do we need to know? Can we clear this? It's from age 29, and there's terror at the age of 29.
That's when I left my abusive marriage.
Oh, wow. Really? At 29?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was terror.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because it's around the heart chakra.
Yeah, and Saturn return.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Did we clear this? Good. It's good that you know what these ages are immediately. Some people struggle with memory like that. Is the next thing, is there still heart chakra misalignment? Okay. There's another emotion that we're going to clear. Helplessness. 29, do we need to know more? Can we clear this? Is it from age 29? Yeah, so we'll clear that too. How are you feeling?
I mean, I feel super light for sure.
It's exactly what I love that you use that word. The number one word I use when people say, what do I expect after this? You know, they always ask that after a session. I always say, you'll feel lighter.
Feel light, and I almost feel more like awake.
Yeah. Imagine like that cloud is not there anymore.
Yes. It's almost this like fogginess.
And it's like, imagine you were holding this since you were 20 and I just take it out of your hand. What does that feel like? It feels lighter.
Super light.
It's like, I'm not carrying that anymore, you know?
Well.
Let me do a couple more.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Please keep going.
20, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18. Can I clear this? At age 18, there's no desire to believe in the divine.
It's true.
So even though that was then and this is now, you still have that subconsciously, like no will to believe in the divine. Even though it's overpowered by more positive things, it's still subconsciously somewhere being held in the body. Did we clear this too? Yeah. Is there still a heart chakra misalignment? Okay, good. Your heart chakra is clear. I'm going to see something here. Okay. Past life karmic cycle. Good. I want to clear a past life karmic cycle for you. Is there anything in any of these as well? Okay. Something around parenthood. Archetype. 2 times. Okay, just those two. So let's see what this past life cycle is that you're repeating. Repeat. Okay. Do we need to know more? Can I clear this? I don't know if this resonates with you now, but there's like a discomfort or fear around authority. And this is a past life thing.
I can't do, I can't do authority.
I'm like that too. Really? Yeah, or I used to be.
I think that's why I'm a serial entrepreneur and have been for a very, very long time.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Since I opened up my first business at 28.
Really?
As a cosmetic dentist.
I was going to ask, what is that? Oh, you were a cosmetic dentist? Wow. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
More here. Okay. I just had 2 dentists on the show back to back on my podcast.
Oh, no way.
Parenthood. Okay. There's something around parenthood. Is it a block? Okay. Okay. Do we need to know more? Can I clear this? I don't feel this from you, but it's something there, so we'll clear it. It's parental doubt. Experiencing parental doubt. And it could be in any part of their, you know.
Yeah.
And it could be that you felt it. Actually, I can get an age for you if you want, because then we can get specific if it's like a specific time that you felt it. Were you already a parent at 39?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's 39. Because even if you weren't, it would still work because it could be like you
That
had
was
that
when
about.
that was when I had my
To
second.
be clear. Oh, at 39?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So maybe it's around that one. Is it around that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Wow. Wow. And so talk to us a little bit, because I do feel like my eyelids are even
Go to sleep.
more.
I'll continue.
No. But even when you first started, I
Yeah.
just felt my body even moving
Mm,
and just kind of like swirling in a circle. Um, Talk to us a little bit about the energy for people who aren't really
yeah.
attuned to having energy work done.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I purposely like, I said about power, what is it, that book, The Body Keeps the Score,
Yeah.
things like that. I purposely don't read books
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to be influenced
Mm-hmm.
by a bias. So
Yeah.
it's even hard for me to tell you like what's actually happening.
Right.
I don't know because I
Mm-hmm.
purposely don't read.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, or I don't listen to podcasts. I don't watch TV. Like I don't do anything because I don't want to be influenced.
Yeah.
So what I feel is happening, because when you describe like the swirliness and things like that, I've had times where people will come on and they'll say like, I had a dream last night and I was so scared you were working on that thing that you just cleared. I didn't want to
Mm.
talk about it in the session, but I knew it was going to come up, or like certain things, like they almost know what's about to be cleared,
Right.
and vice versa. I've had times where I'll turn on the Zoom call because this is all done remotely. So I work
Yeah.
on Zoom,
Yep.
and I'll turn on the Zoom and I'll say, hey, I'm sorry. I won't take this from your time. Like I'll add 10 minutes to your session, but I need to go wash my eyes out. They're burning. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then the person will be like, my intention is to work on my eye sensitivity or
No
on my eye
way.
pressure or whatever it is,
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
like, so there is something that's happening. And I honestly feel, and I actually have, I mean, we can say this, I'll tell you what it is. I have these 3 statements that I have everybody read at the end.
Oh yes.
And one of them, the last one, is, as I am healed, I am not healed alone. And the reason is like
So
kind of what I
good.
described. Like
Yeah.
when I'm clearing, the reason I'm experiencing that stuff that you're experiencing sometimes, or vice versa, is because there's something in me that needs that cleared. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
this person found me and came to me. So whenever somebody's coming in and they have a lot of shame or whatever, I start looking and I go, where is this shame inside me? And that's why I can clear this, from you or
Right.
remotely on Zoom.
Right.
But being an empath, like in the first, I don't know, 3 months of me working as an untrained kind of healer, just doing it, I realized like if it was a deep session, like somebody had been molested as a child or something like that, I would run to the bathroom and start throwing up.
Oh wow.
And because I didn't know how to not take it on for them.
Right.
But
Right.
now I'm like you tell me about your dad, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like as though you told me you did the dishes this morning.
Right.
Because when
Right.
I'm in that space in that session, I have to just be like, okay, let's clear that. And
Yeah.
my heart is so like empathetic and sympathizing,
Mm-hmm.
but as a healer, I have to say, okay, but this is yours. It doesn't exist anymore. We're gonna clear it.
Yep.
We're gonna clear this pain, this suffering. We're gonna clear it.
Yep.
No one has to take it on. Not you, not me, no one.
And so when you're teaching this and when you're teaching people to heal, be
Yeah.
the healer within themselves, because I know you have this powerful course that
Yeah.
everyone really loves, because there's 2 ways to work with you.
Yes.
So they can book one-on-one sessions and we'll
Yeah.
put it in the show notes. And then the other way is to literally, it's like the DIY,
Be the healer, right? Yeah.
be the healer of yourself. And I really think that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Because, people would just choose to be that healer for you. While people would love to do that, I know that there are others who are so curious as to, okay, how can I heal myself with some of these things that perhaps, I've been holding on for a while, or maybe subconsciously I didn't know I was holding on. Like for you to pick that up, I was like, oh, okay. I
Right.
did lose a few people this summer that I was like,
Mm.
so like,
Oh.
a really dear friend, and then a cousin earlier this summer. And for the friend, completely unexpected. And
Oh.
so that was just like, so I thought you were picking up on her, but the fact that you
Oh.
went even further back, I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was,
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
thought that was
Yeah.
healed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but I'm just like, well, you picked up on like very
And crazy, 29,
specific
you're
ages
like, that's when I
39.
got the wound and there was terror. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Yeah.
picked
Yeah.
up on a lot of that stuff, which is so like,
And honestly, I
wow.
will say, like, that part in the class, I don't necessarily teach because there is a lot of claircognizance. There's a lot of also,
Of
but what I
course.
do teach is, if people are watching this and not just listening, they'll see I was doing a lot of muscle testing. Do you know about muscle testing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of like chiropractors do this too. I've learned how to muscle test about 20 years ago.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was my brother-in-law's brother taught me.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he would just muscle test everything. He's like a super successful, like massively successful CEO, and he would just show me how to do this, you know? And but I only now, like I'd say 8 years ago or something, started using it in my sessions or in clearings. But what happens is in the course, I do teach people how to muscle test,
Okay.
how to like you become the pendulum. Stop using a
Right.
tool, a
Right.
pendulum, even though I
Right.
love them, they're great, fine, they
Yep.
work. But your body is the pendulum.
Oh, I think it's
It
so
knows
cool.
all the answers.
So
And it's so
amazing.
cool. Like one of the guys, Ethan, in the class, he's like, oh my God, Frank, like the day after he did that, we do a Zoom call every Sunday with all the students and everybody.
Oh,
So
that's
every single Sunday,
great.
and we just, everyone gets together, we share, I teach more, we talk, I'll do clearings for people.
And you have a beautiful community too.
So beautiful. It really, honestly, I'm so lucky because like sometimes I look at the people who like and comment all my
Yeah.
stuff on Instagram and I'm like, whoa, this person is so cool. Like all
Oh,
these healers, like, and I've had friends in the past who are like massive celebrities and they're like, you're so lucky because, and you know, this is their words. I would not, I think like you're lucky, I'm lucky, we're all lucky, right? But they'll say that if you ever get noticed or people come up to you, they're always like, wow, you healed this, or oh my God, I watched your video about ayahuasca and then I went and did it, or like, and they're like, for them, it's like people just run up to them and they'll call them the character that they played in a movie that's not even, you know, and like
oh,
so and
right.
so, you
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
and they're like, it's so cool that people come up and they're like, wow, you've helped change my life. Thank you. You know,
But you have been that conduit for so many
it's
people.
been really, like the biggest fulfillment of my life, honestly.
And I mean, I mean, this is your true path. This is your dharma.
It is.
And so before we get into our spill the chai rapid fire round,
Ooh.
where can we get more from Frank Elaridi?
Yeah, so the two things are awaken the healer within. If you're
Mhm.
interested in learning like modalities, tap into your own intuition. It doesn't like look, not everybody in the class is an energy healer. Some are
Mhm.
astrologers, some are corporate executives who just want that outlet for like a space to meet with a conscious community every week
Yep.
to do the modules that there's like 45 videos that we shot and they're
Oh,
so
wow.
beautifully shot.
Oh,
Like
amazing.
it looks like a Hollywood production.
Of course.
And everything is like they're digestible short
Yep.
videos that you have access to for life. And so like some people will come in and be like, Frank, I had like on the live calls and they're like, it was so difficult this week. I did module 4 times
Oh my
because it just
gosh.
like I got so much from it, you know?
Yeah.
So there is like things that will awaken your own healing
Mhm.
abilities, yours like what makes you unique,
Mhm.
your thumbprint, you know?
Yep.
And then the other way is book a session with me directly, frankelaridi.com.
Perfect. We're
And
gonna link it in the show
yeah,
notes.
and I would love to work with people. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay.
Okay.
Here's our spill the
Ooh. All
chai
right.
with our chai tonics blend, which you're gonna get wildest thing that's ever happened during a healing session.
Oh, wow. Immediately go to this woman that I worked with, a doctor, by the way, has 2 medical degrees from Harvard and was still like doing all these sessions with me. So that's why I say that to say like it doesn't matter anymore. Like whether you're a believer or you're a skeptic, I'm an engineer. It doesn't matter. Like it works for anybody, right?
Mm.
But she would literally in the middle of the session just start going, "Ah, ta-da," like just start doing these things. And she was like that. She was like, Frank, I'm releasing so much. And she would just start like opera singing.
Oh wow.
It was really incredible. And then she would also have, yeah, that was like one of the things, but she would have these spontaneous things happen. Her whole body would start shaking. Sahara Rose, who you know on her
Yes.
podcast, she was like, like a totally like big, but on hers, we did a clearing for the audience.
Oh
So let's clear what the
wow.
collective is holding on to, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And
So
she was just like,
huge.
oh, I'm feeling so much. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. What's the biggest myth about energy healing you wish people would drop forever right now?
Ooh, yeah. That you would have to choose like, oh, but I'm a Christian or I'm a this or I'm a whatever. I'm an engineer. Like the fact that you can't be both.
Mm.
That's what I would say.
So good. So good. What are you currently braving?
Ooh, I'm currently braving learning how to like balance being in this world still for at least a few more years.
Hmm.
I don't mean death, but I mean like where I'm not like isolated and just
Yeah.
like leave and just go off and be on my own.
Yeah.
Like become a full-on sannyasi, you know? And so I'm really like right now braving like, okay, how and also how do I get the message out there?
Mm.
Because there's so much like we talked about dream. You're not the dreamer, you are the dream. And there's some stuff like I think people are just like, okay, I just want breath work. Like give me something I can just do now.
Right.
That's
Something
too
tangible.
much to think
Yeah.
about right now, you know? And a friend did tell me recently, she's like, look, looking at every astrologer who's looked at my chart says, this is your last life. This is spiritual liberation. Like that, you will
Mhm.
attain that in this life. And they all have always said, like, your path is moksha. There's no other, like every way you read your chart, because there's 4 ways you can look at a chart.
Right.
And every way they're like, it's moksha, 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 moksha. Like that's your
Wow.
only reason to be here.
Uh,
And so I'm like
love
balancing
that.
of like, because like this person, when I was telling her this, was like, yeah, but Frank, your path is moksha. That's not everybody's thing to be here right now. Some people, their path is to make a ton of money in this life. So I'm trying to balance how to connect with everybody, because I do believe, sorry, and this is fire round,
Yeah.
right? It's supposed to be rapid fire.
Yeah.
But I do believe that like everything is predestined, and the only free will that we really have, or at least like the biggest free will, is when you will wake up. You get to decide. So for me, I don't think it matters. Your chart is this, your chart is that. I don't care if your chart is to be an adult film star in this life and to whatever, you know? Like you can choose at any moment. I think that's the one free will we have. Like I'm gonna wake up. In this life right now, I'm wiping the slate clean. That's
Yeah.
what I call it. Is
Wiping
wipe
the
the slate
slate
clean.
clean.
Of like, you know how when you play tag growing up, and how does the game end? It's not like somebody gets 10 points like other games or whatever, or you beat the game. You just go, guys, I'm done. I'm gonna go home and eat a sandwich. Like I'm done playing tag. You know, I'm not doing this anymore. And like that's literally what I'm doing, and I did do, but now I have to do it every day because I'm still choosing to be here.
Yeah.
Like daily little forgivenesses of little grievances,
Right.
but of like I'm not playing tag anymore. You guys have fun. I'm wiping the score clean.
Yeah.
Like whatever you did to me, whatever I've done to you, it's all forgiven.
All forgiven.
Like
Yeah.
no more keeping score. I'm done.
Yeah.
You can keep playing the game if you want to. I'm checking out. I'm not playing tag anymore.
So
The slate
good.
is clean.
So good. Which means it's like I'm not going to be taking in any of the things that have been holding me back. I'm just gonna
And
keep
that
the
too.
slate clean.
And that too.
So good.
Yeah.
One word that describes this season of life.
Ooh, right now. Silence.
Yeah. So good. Wow, Frank, this has been so powerful. Thank you for pouring into me,
Thank
pouring
you.
into our beautiful community, allowing us to get brave about braving our deeper skills of really healing our own, maybe even subconscious wounds, and even helping us become healers within.
Thank you so much. And thanks for being an example, because it's the brave table.
I know we
And
were
to
just
be an
braving. We were
example,
just braving this today. Woo.
right? For you to be like, yes, clear my heart chakra. Like that's a vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
That's real bravery.
So good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks.
Woo! Welcome back to the other side. Oh my gosh, this episode with Frank was such a gift. I literally feel way more, I feel like elevated, like I was levitating. I feel like I'm levitating still. Whew. Big sigh, all of us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you got the goosebumps as well, if you got a little bit of a nudge, maybe this perhaps changed what you had ever thought about in your own energy work or your own perceptions about energy clearing, energy healing. And you may want to follow Frank at F. Elaridi on Instagram. I'm going to link it in the show notes. I'm going to link his TED Talk as well as his offerings and his course, Awaken the Healer Within. I think this is going to be so fab for you. So go ahead and check it out. If you love this episode, curious about more, and you're watching this on YouTube but haven't hit subscribe, go ahead and hit subscribe. It helps us grow the show more than you know. And let us know in the comments what changed. What were you? Are you kind of like, oh my gosh, I have to book a session with him? Tell us everything. It really helps us increase more goodness for people who need to be a little bit more brave in their life. And as always, tag us on the Brave Table. You know what to do. I will see you next time. Don't forget to be just a little bit more brave. You know I've got so much more in store for you. So if you are really ready to dive in and keep owning your emotions like the boss that you are, click right here. Go ahead. Don't be shy. I'll see you in the next one. Keep shining.